Good morning. So it is Sunday, May 16th. We finished up seeding yesterday. So there's been a whole bunch going on in the yard though for the last basically 16 days. I haven't really been a part of any of it. I head out to the field and I usually don't get back till around 10 or 11 or 12 at night. If I do swing through the yard, it's just to grab fuel, grease the machine or whatever, and then it's back to the field. So some of the things that have been going on, they got a bunch of gravel delivered here, so they were spreading that around. They had some manure brought in to the garden, so they've been rotavating away at that, cleaning up all the odds and ends. Up here in northern Alberta, we go right from winter to seeding basically. What I mean by that is our spring, the start of our spring here is basically everything's still frozen to the ground, frozen in the ground, muddy, wet, and the snow still melting. The minute that stops, you can basically get to the field, and you want to be doing that because depending on how miserable May decides to be, you could easily get a week and a half, 2 weeks of rain in May, which then pushes your seeding off into early June, and we don't like to seed into June. So there's not a whole bunch of time for that, traditional spring cleaning, right? That, the people in the city, they look forward to it. They get out and rake their lawn and everything. Like, we have to do all that as well. It's just, we have to put our crop in first. So they've been doing that on our farm. Really, my mom, she looks after the kids. Corey, she goes and gets all the fertilizer, goes and gets all the seed, goes and gets all the chemical, brings it to the field, helps me fill the drill. My dad, he works all the land ahead of us that we're going to work with either the disc or he puts down the anhydrous fertilizer. So it's basically up to my mom and Corey to get all the yard work done and look after the kids. And they did a pretty bang up job. Once my dad finished out in the field with the tillage equipment, he came back in here. He got the, hey, leave that cat alone. He got the underground waters working, and they've been working too to try to keep up on the bags, but that's kind of a hard thing. That's kind of my thing anyways, to make as many bags as we get ordered in the spring. So today here, I'll probably get this tandem washed up. We lost the clutch in it, just a throw-out bearing anyways. So I got to wash that up so it's not so gross to be underneath it. And then I'm going to drive it into the shop. I probably won't start working on that today. We are supposed to get a couple days of rain. It's supposed to start early in the morning. So late tonight, sometime early tomorrow morning, it's supposed to start raining. If it rains all day tomorrow, that'll be another good rest day for everybody. We don't have to worry about being outside. Not that we don't want to, it's just we've been outside for 16 days, grinding away. So it's nice to take a little bit of a break. So when the rain starts, I'll take that truck apart and fix that bearing. All right, good evening. So it's actually already 9 o'clock. Where did the day go? We made a whole bunch of bags that we had been behind on during spring seeding. We got the side-by-side washed up. If anybody is has a farm and they're like, oh man, I wonder what piece of equipment I could use to enhance my life, see your way to get one of these things. We've never had one before. This is the first one we got. We got it from a Sea-Doo Bombardier type dealer or whatever. And the reason this one came about is we had a Sea-Doo boat. Nobody would take that on trade or anything like that, except for these people. They gave us a really good deal on that boat and a real good deal on this side-by-side. And this was the only one they had with a back seat. That's why it's the this one is what is it, the Lone Star or whatever. I'm not even sure what the hell that means. I think it meant to come with the roof and the winch and maybe these different tires. I don't know. All of that's irrelevant. We only wanted the back seat. My mom likes taking the kids for rides, and boy, just the handiest thing you could ever have on the farm, because the yards are getting so big. I mean, that's one thing my dad commented on, right? I mean, our bins are way up there and our machinery's even on another quarter and on and on and on. So this stuff's getting so big. Jumping in and out of a pickup, it's no big deal. But you know what? Hopping in and out of one of these things to check fields, to bring seed, to bring, that last jug of chemical, go up and feed the animals, whatever you're doing, super handy. They aren't cheap. They do not give these things away, but they are worth it. I got my tandem washed. I got to do the throwout bearing. Failed. I climbed under there. I'm not a mechanic. There was ball bearings falling out of the bell housing onto my face. So that was pretty much the way I knew that was happening. I don't like climbing under these old trucks before they've been washed because there's, 40 years of dirt caked on that bell housing and all that stuff, and it falls directly into your mouth, your eyes, and your ears. I don't think any of the dirt falls onto the floor. It falls right onto your face. So that's all washed off. I'm going to fire up the heaters in here tonight because it actually is supposed to get cold again. That's just another way the good Lord shows us he loves us. He gave us our $1 million rain. I'll open the door and show everybody. So we got a good rain, greened everything up. Leaves really popped today, settled the dust. All our wheat out here is up. All our barley over here is up. Probably that tall. So when she gets down to whatever, -5, 6 or whatever, that'll be a real kick in the face. And I guess we can assess at that point if we get to start the whole process over again. We've had experienced some frost before, and sometimes, depending on duration of the frost, how long it lasts, how much of it actually hits the ground, sometimes you get away from it, sometimes you don't. That's another curse to seeding early, is up here in northern Alberta. One of the things I was reading, actually, one of the guys that I follow, the Little Prairie Homestead, I think they made a post, and I think for our area, the last frost-free day on average is actually May 18th. So when you get the good weather and you get all the excitement and the adrenaline, and you want to get out there and you want to get seeding and you want to get planting, and even planting your garden, you are taking a pretty big risk to have that stuff in the ground at the end of April, early May, because we get, if you have that nice warm weather and good moisture, that stuff is going to want to grow. Everything wants to grow in the spring. That's why the leaves pop out so fast and aggressively. Within 2-3 days, the leaves are full. The trees are full. The grass goes from, just yellow deadness to just lush green. And that's all instantly within a week. So your crops, they do the same thing. Your garden, it will do the same thing. So if it all comes up and then you get -6, -7, -8 for more than a few minutes, you get to start over again. So sometimes we get 2 planting seasons, I guess. You get end of April, first couple days of May planting season, and then that starts to grow. And then you get middle of May, end of May, early June planting season. That's if you're super unfortunate. But as I said, it is 9 o'clock, well past supper time. I'm gonna run in, grab some supper, fire these heaters up. Everything can drip dry overnight. And tomorrow it's supposed to rain all day. It was supposed to rain all day today. We didn't get a whole bunch of rain. That's why I call it $1 million rain. You don't want it to rain too hard. Our soil will bake off if it does. Just turn into the floor is what it'll turn into. Whatever crops aren't up, then we'll really struggle. So vulnerable seeds like canola seeds and stuff like that, they'll often bake right off and won't grow. So this light little, it's supposed to be the $1 million rain. Tomorrow though, it's supposed to rain all day. It's supposed to be 100% chance of like 10 millimeters. So we'll see if they're right. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. So I'm assuming these guys should get it once here in the spring. They've been wrong every day up until this point. So if they are right, boom, I got my tomorrow project. As always, to those who watch, thank you. And we will see you all tomorrow.